Hey Algebra, this is a video to walk you through parts A and B of the tree project in case you are not in class or missed part of it while you were. So, problem, we're doing a project for this unit, and the question we're trying to answer is how can I choose a tree to replace the one dying in my yard, and how long will it take to grow into the space? So what you're going to do is you're going to research the growth of a couple of trees. You're going to write an equation and graph it, and then we're going to solve it in a variety of different ways and figure out what tree do you think is the best. So, part A is research. 5 years ago, a plum tree was planted in my yard. It's not doing well, and I want to plant a new tree seed and find when both of the trees will be the same height. Below is information on the tree that's currently planted there. It's a Mexican plum. It grows 10 inches per year, and the mature size is estimated to be 30 feet. The new tree, what I'm looking for, is no taller than 40 feet. I have other trees in the area and don't want them shaded. Will grow in our area. We live in Zone 8, and is a fruit or a nut tree, because I like to feed myself and my neighbors and the wildlife with the things that I plant. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Arbor Day website linked here, and you are going to find 2 trees that fit this criteria, and you are going to put their information here. So the Arbor Day website looks like this. So let's say I wanted to do an almond tree. So it grows in Zone 8. It grows almonds, so it's a nut tree. The mature size is 20 feet, so it's not too tall, and the growth rate is 24 inches a year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that information into my chart. Type of tree would be Hall's Hardy Almonds. Growth rate was 24 inches per year. So 24 inches per year. And mature size is 25 feet. So what you're going to do is you are going to find your 2 trees and type that information. For part B, we are going to graph the data. So let's identify our variables, our growth rates. That's going to be the 2 things that are changing. So it's going to be height in years. So for Y, that's going to be my vertical axis. That's going to be height. And we're going to measure that in feet, like the height of our trees. For X, that's going to be time. And we're going to measure this in years, because that's about as long as that's about the right time frame for trees to grow, is years. And our growth rate is given in inches per year. So when we graph our information, we need to make sure that we include our labeled axes and units. Alright, so my tree is going to start at point 0, 0. And the slope, well, my tree goes 10 inches a year, but I want to get that in feet. So I'm going to divide by 12 to get my slope. 10 divided by 12 is 5/6. Tree 1, well, that would be the tree you guys are planting. The X value is the year, so your trees are going to start at 5, and Y is the height. They have 0 height when they're planted, so it's going to be 5, 0. Both of your trees are going to have this as one of the points on the line. So the Hall Hardy Almond tree, let me go through that as an example. That grows 24 inches per year. Remember, I need to turn that into feet, so I'm going to divide by 12. That gives me 24 divided by 12, which is 2. So do that with your trees. Get your slope by dividing the inches it grows per year by 12. So now I'm going to take that information and put it into my point slope formula. I have a point and I have the slope. So my equation, I'm going to plug in my numbers. Y equals 5, 6. So x minus my x value is 0. And then plus my y value, which is also 0. Well, I'd do it to the second tree. So it would be y equals, slope is going to be 2 times x minus your x value, which here is 5, and then plus the y value of your point, which is not y, which is 0. Then to turn it into the slope-intercept formula, it's already solved for y, so all I have to do is simplify by distributing to get rid of my parentheses. So the first one is going to be y equals 5, 6, x. And then 5, 6 times 0 is minus 0. 5, 6 times, and then plus 0. So neither of those change the value. So my final equation for slope-intercept is going to be y equals 5, 6x. For the second one, you can do the same thing and distribute. So we get y equals 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So what you guys are going to do then, down here, is you are going to graph your data. Let me show you one of the graphs that I made so you can see what it might look like. Alright, so here is a graph that I made, and I chose to graph a couple of different lines. I just picked a couple. So your graph has 40 boxes vertically and 30 horizontally. So I labeled my axes, x and y, and I numbered every 5th box just so I knew where my values were, but it wasn't too messy. Then for my plum tree, well, I have a point at 0, 0, and then my slope is 5, 6, so I go up 5 and over 6. Plot another point, do that again, up 5 to 10, over 6, which is going to take me to 12. Plot another point, and then connect those with the line. I did the same thing. The apple tree here has a slope of 2, so I know it starts at 5, 0. Oops, sorry, the almond tree has a slope of 2. So I start at 5, 0, the point I know, and then from that point you go up 2 over 1. Mark your point, up 2 over 1, mark another point, connect them with a line. And the reason my lines level off is because both almond and apple trees grow to a maximum of 25 feet. So that is part A and B of the tree assignment. Oh, part B, sorry. Just kidding. I forgot there were questions. So you're going to, based on your graph, predict when tree A and B will be the same height as the plum tree. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to look at the lines and figure out where they cross each other. So let's look here and zoom in a little bit. So when will the trees be the same height? So I'm trying to see when does the green line cross the purple and when does the red line cross the purple. So green line crosses the purple around 7. So like, oh no, sorry, that's my y value. Green and purple. 1, 2, 3. Like 8, 8.5 maybe. So at year 8.5, the almonds tree represented by the green line, the plum tree would be the same height. And then for the apple, find where those two lines cross, so purple and red. They cross about 12, x equals 12, so that means at year 12, the apple and the plum tree would be the same height. It also asks how tall are they going to be when that happens, so same deal, go back to where your lines cross and figure out what is your corresponding y value. So for my two lines, this purple and green line seem to cross at about 7. Then my purple and my red line seem to cross somewhere around 10. So you're going to give that your best guess. That's number 2. And then number 3 is based on your knowledge of mature tree size. Is your answer realistic? Yes or no? So just thinking about what those numbers are and what they mean, does it make sense? If you have any questions, please send me an email or at me on Teams. Good luck with your project. Bye, guys.